Well, g'day and welcome to the immediate help section of this website. And if you've pushed this button, if you've clicked on this link to bring up this video that you're watching now, it's probably because, and I'm just assuming that you have already at some point watched the other two sections here and have got an idea about the spiritual path, but it's probably because you need help to ground yourself in your new spiritual direction, or perhaps you need help with a more immediate psychological order. And I should point out that really, if you feel that you are perhaps a danger to yourself or others, or if you are having extreme suicidal thoughts, or if you are perhaps using and abusing, but maybe drugs and alcohol, that you should seek counselling in those areas first, because the spiritual path is one of undoing the mind. And if you are dependent upon substances, or if you have particularly distressing cycles of thought processing and thoughts that are coming up for you, it's more helpful for you to go and find a counsellor, or perhaps look through the directory in this website. You might find somebody close to you and actually make physical contact with somebody, right? But having said that, and I would always, if you're in Australia, I would always recommend Lifeline if you are feeling suicidal. And I'll put the phone number for Lifeline and everything in this section, and a few other worthy contacts for AA, NA, and perhaps a few government references. And a lot of people say to me the government system is rubbish. And yes, I have to agree. But the one thing that I enjoy and do like about the government system is that you will find people that work in that system who are genuinely connected and switched on. It's just that within that system, they're not able to always offer you the greatest depth of advice and all of that sort of thing. So, but they will be able to steer you in the right direction. And I always think that any direction other than the one you're in yourself has got to be better. So check out those things. Don't be afraid to go and ask for help, all right? One of the things that we hate to do as a human being, let's say, or a mind in transition, is to reach out and ask for help, right? We feel embarrassed because we don't know how to describe what we're going through. But you would be surprised, for example, if you go to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting feeling completely humbled and embarrassed and just in the deep end of things, you would be surprised how many people, in fact, probably all the people there, have similar stories to you, have been through the ringer and have lost everything and have hit a brick wall and don't know where to go, and all of that sort of thing. So reach out, ask for help, right? The help may not come in the way you want it to look like, but it'll be help nonetheless, right? Just follow the guidance, follow the instructions, do what is asked, right, to restore your peace of mind. And you'll find yourself being led from one to another. And eventually, if you keep an open mind and if your willingness is enough to say yes, you'll find your way perhaps to even this book, which I've mentioned in the last section, A Course in Miracles, which to me is the most invaluable tool for transforming the mind and bringing you back to peace from insanity that is on the planet today. So as you go through this section, you'll find videos about more meditational practices, because this is about immediate help. This is about helping you to ground your anxious, depressed, suicidal thinking perhaps, and to give you a moment, just a single moment, wherein you can stop with all the nonsense, step back from it and breathe, right? And allow yourself to have a single moment that is uncluttered with all of the higgledy-piggledy of your thinking, because that's where everything goes wrong. That's where everything gets reacted to, is in our thinking, because we think that our thoughts mean things, and we think that our ability to think about things means that we're actually serving our own best interests, but we don't often realize that it's not. We don't often realize that our thinking is the thing that has gotten into this pickle, and therefore why would we trust it to try and get us out of the pickle? Right? And if you're anything like me, I was a chronic alcoholic and took a lot of drugs in my very younger days, and been clean and sober for 20 years perhaps. And I can now, let's say, enjoy alcohol as a social drink, the same as anyone can, rather than using it as a social crutch, which is what I used to use it for, because I felt very disoriented in the world, didn't know why I was here, and I felt very uncomfortable in company because deep down I thought I was the only one that felt that way. That I felt empty inside and didn't belong. And the feeling that I didn't belong pushed every button I had, and no matter where I went, I felt like I didn't fit in, didn't belong. And so alcohol became my way to cope with that. And it was only when I faced that demon, when I decided to answer for myself the questions, why do I feel like I don't belong? Why do I feel like I don't fit in? What is this emptiness inside of me? That I began to come up against the real nuts and bolts of the cause and effect relationship that I had with the universe, wherein I was denying the flow of the universe, let's say, or the flow of God's grace through me, which provides for my better good and the better good of all mankind. And I was trying to run my own show, which is fine, but it's a chaotic, horrific runaway train. So, and remember, God is the power of your mind. It's not somebody up there waiting to judge you. It's not a power outside of yourself or something else other than you. God is mind. Spirit is mind. Right? Try to get a sense of that. We're going to harness the power of our mind to bring about changes in our thinking, which will then flow on to produce changes in what we manifest as our reality, and changes in the way, therefore, that we respond to it and react to it, etc. Which is done very simply by setting our goal as inner peace in all our relationships and all our things, and then going through life as we normally do and seeing where we're off track. Right? By remembering that we've made that goal, inner peace. Whoops, I fucked up that situation, and obviously I didn't have inner peace as my goal there. Boom, 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 apply the principles, back to peace. All right? And then being vigilant and all that sort of thing. But getting off topic a little bit, what you'll find here is simple, applicable practices that you can do. Some are breathing, some are meditational, some are simply calm music that you may perhaps have never listened to before. And I encourage you to push beyond your threshold in all of these exercises. I encourage you to not listen to that voice in your head that says, this is not doing anything, or this is a load of rubbish. That's just a black curtain of doubt, denial, and everything else that is manifest by the ego part of the mind that does not want you to find your whole inner self. Right? And you have to remember that you're always going to be up against that voice of doubt because you made it and you gave it a purpose. And it's kind of crazy, I know, but we're going to reprogram it. All right? We're going to change things around, reinterpret things through the application of the principles that you'll find in the videos and posts and things on this section. All right, I love you. Take it easy, and don't forget, ask for help. Okay, you're not alone. Ask for help, even if you have to wander into a church. And I know a lot of people these days are against that. Oh no, I don't want to go into the church. Go and speak to somebody. Go up to the front and ask the guy that's talking, tell them what's going on, wherever you are. Right? People go to church because they want to learn and they want to help others to learn. People go to church because they're concerned about their community and the welfare of their community. And if you go to church, you will be welcomed. Right? If you are not welcomed for any particular reason, if you find the curriculum or the thing, try a different one. Right? Some churches are more all-inclusive than others. Some have particular ritual and dogma and stuff, and I'm not into that either. I don't blame you if you're not either. But I usually find uniting churches in Australia are very open-minded and tend to gather in people from all different paths of life. And of course, if you do need help from, let's say, me or anyone in the Course in Miracles world, just consult the directory or send us an email. Okay, take it easy and enjoy this section. And remember, ask for help. And if the help doesn't look like this section, so be it. Go and find it. All right? It's within you ultimately, but if it has to be Lifeline, if it has to be mental health unit or whatever, do it. All right? Get yourself sorted. I love you.